Welcome to the first in a series of videos coming to you from the corporate office of Mortgage Investors Network. Mortgage Investors Network is a Florida-based licensed mortgage lender with a very unique business platform that can provide many financial advantages for our borrowing clients and investors as well. In today's video, we will be speaking with Mr. Jeffrey Homefeld, co-founder and president of Mortgage Investors Network. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning to you as well.
I have a number of questions to ask you that will perhaps help our clients better understand how Mortgage Investors Network operates. Can you start by telling us a little bit about your background?
First of all, let me say this. All the principals and founders of Mortgage Investors Network have many years of varied financial experience, such as the law, high tech, lending experience, obviously, and running businesses. We combine our experiences together to create a quality loan product that performs satisfactorily during times when the market is going up and times when the market is dropping. Our track record backs this up. I've been in the lending business over 30 years. I started with a finance company, which are not really that prevalent these days, but back in the day, that's where you learned your fundamentals. And I used those fundamentals throughout my entire career, which proved to be very beneficial. When I left the finance company, I got involved in banking, where I ran a loan department, managed branches, got involved in a lot of different departments, including private lending, which is loaning to high net worth individuals, commercial lending, loaning to businesses, big and small. When I left the bank, I went to work for a large mortgage brokerage company. I moved up to district manager in Central Florida, at which time we were one of the largest mortgage brokerage companies in the country. But deep down, I always wanted to run my own business. So when I left there, I started my own mortgage brokerage company. I hired loan officers, and I operated the company for many years until eventually we opened Mortgage Investors Network.
Interesting, but you already had a successful brokerage company. What was the main emphasis behind starting this company?
Glad you asked that question. Your typical lender has a customer or a party that they benefit, and that is the borrower. We wanted to benefit a second party, and that would be the private person or small company that has money saved, and they're frustrated by the fact that they can't find a good yield and an investment that's easy to understand, that's low risk, and is transparent, that they can verify. We set this up to satisfy both parties, the borrower and a potential investor. I think a good place to illustrate this would be a video we have where we caught a chance encounter between two people on a park bench. One of which we'll call Bob the borrower, the other is Ivan the investor. I'd like to show you this video. Can we take a quick break and watch it real quick?
Sure.
Hi, beautiful day out. Mind if we sit with you?
No, not at all.
Oh, thank you. It's my day off and walking my dog through the park to get used to sights and sounds. Little Bavarian Yorkie, be 6 months old Sunday.
Puppy?
Yeah, her name's Haley and I'm Ivan.
I'm Bob.
Glad to meet you.
Yep, nice to meet you. Excuse me. Hey, honey. Yeah, I'm in the park. I just had to come by and blow some steam off. Yeah, it didn't go too well. He denied the loan. You know, I just don't get it. We invested so much time putting together this portfolio and, this business plan for the building that we own. It's worth over $500,000, and we were only asking for $150,000 towards the property. He said they don't do those type of loans. We spent so much time putting this presentation together, and they just flat out said no. Yeah, I'll be home in a little bit. I just gotta walk it off. I wish I could find someone that can help me with this loan. Yeah, I'll see you soon.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm sitting real close to you. I overheard that conversation,
Yeah.
and I know what you're going through. Same thing with my bank. I'm not a borrower, but I've saved and saved for so many years, probably back before I was 40 years old. And now I've been saving for over 30 years.
Wow.
And I was hoping to retire with a rate of return of 4 or 5% interest on my money from the bank. But it seems like the bigger the banks get, the less they give in interest. And now I'm only getting about 1% from the bank on my money. So now I'm still working because I can't afford to retire. I just wish there was some place I could go where I could get a better return on my money. Something safe and secure, something that makes sense, something that even I can understand, instead of all of this stuff on Wall Street.
Yeah.
Because I live on Main Street.
Me too.
Yeah. Best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Okay, we'll see you.
Okay.
Take care.
I get it. Both Bob and Ivan are disenchanted with the bank. How does Mortgage Investors Network fit into this scenario?
We use what we call, what I like to think is the lost art of common sense lending to help Bob with what he needs. We use the common sense underwriting. We have a different product than the banks offer, at least what the banks choose to offer. And we have a different lending source of funds, I should say. As a lender, we look at Bob's request. We apply common sense to judge whether we should do the loan. We approve the loan and we fund the loan ourselves with funds from our own inside source funds.
So Bob gets what he needs to expand his business, but what about Ivan?
Good question. That's what makes Mortgage Investors so unique. When we do Bob's loan, we have a choice. Like any lender, we can keep the loan in our portfolio and we can just collect payments, which of course would include interest, which is our profit. Or, in this particular case, we can package that loan and we can sell that loan, or what we call assign that loan, to Ivan. Now, Ivan gets a higher return on his funds. In turn, he gets a low-risk, conservative mortgage investment.
That is unique. Are there a lot of Bob and Ivans out there?
Yes. In my experience, for every Bob needing a common sense loan, there's an Ivan that needs a higher yield on their investments. From what I've seen, there's a huge market for both Bob and Ivan.
You're obviously an expert in the lending field, but do you have a system built in to minimize the risk for Ivan?
Every successful loan has 5 fundamental factors that are important in making a good loan decision. At Mortgage Investors Network, we call them the 5 C's of credit. We think it's so important that we've created an in-house scoring system utilizing those 5 C's. Every borrower that comes to us has to achieve at least a minimum score before we'll approve the loan and fund it. And we feel that this scoring system keeps us mindful that making quality mortgage decisions is much more important than blindly looking at profit of each loan.
What are the 5 C's?
The 5 C's are: number 1, character of the borrower; number 2, credit of the borrower; number 3 would be collateral; number 4 is the circumstances involved with the loan; and lastly would be capacity of the borrower to pay.
How else do you protect Ivan?
That's an excellent question, and because that's so important, we're actually going to create a whole nother video that's going to talk only about how we protect Ivan. But suffice it to say, there's 2 main factors we use. Number 1, we only do mortgages on income-producing properties. Number 2, the amount we lend on a property is very conservative. meaning the amount we lend is low compared to the value of the property. In our business, we call loan to value ratio. These two factors help, especially in market conditions when values are dropping, because we've protected Ivan by ensuring that his property is still going to produce income. And we were very conservative when we did the loan in the first place to allow for dropping market values. This system has worked very well for us. Matter of fact, in 2008, even though the industry suffered horrible losses, we had no losses at all.
That certainly is a very exciting concept. Can we do that video soon?
Yeah, I look forward to it. I'd love to.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.